Welcome back to the Saddle Care Series with the FEI in partnership with Bates Saddles. Joined here again with international show jumper and Bates ambassador Bex Mason and her gorgeous horse Otis. Bex, do you want to give us a little intro of Otis?
Yeah, of course. This is Otis. I actually bred him. He was a COVID baby. So he was an embryo from my good mare Van Curtis, who's jumped up to 150s, and by Casalask. So he's only a 4-year-old stallion. So yeah, this is his first little modelling shoot.
I mean, what better horse? He is absolutely rocking it. What a beauty. So in this episode, we're going to be talking about saddle pads. Now, if you're anything like me, you will have a huge selection of saddle pads and you will also be tempted at buying new season colours. Those collections can build up quite rapidly. But over the years, saddle pads have definitely advanced technologically and they have many, many purposes. Bex is actually going to help us navigate the purpose for saddle pads. So Bex, what is the purpose of saddle pads?
Well, in its simplicity, a saddle pad is basically just a second skin. If your saddle fits correctly, you're just using it to protect from dirt and grease, to protect your leather.
So Bex, what are some of the things that you look for in a saddle pad?
There's a few comfort features that I look for. So with the contouring of the saddle pad, if you get it raised through the wither, that gives you a little bit more room. Also, if it comes up a little bit at the back, that's a nice feature to have. We're always looking for plenty of room to be down the spine. Some actually even have or mesh flow through here, which is really great. And natural fibres to make it breathable for your horse.
What about when we need a bit more from our saddle pads, like shock absorption, some extra cushioning, things like that?
There's a few options, lots of options out there. What you have to be careful of is making sure you still leave plenty of room where the spine goes, underneath that channel of the saddle where the gullet is. So you can add a sheepskin pad, which people often do and put that with a normal saddle pad. And that's more of a hygienic thing, so you don't have to keep washing your sheepskin. But another thing to be careful of is if you start layering, then you're then going to interfere with the stability of the saddle, which obviously we don't want. We want it to be as stable as possible. So the less layers, the better, really.
Am I right in saying, Bex, that there are options out there for balance adjustments too?
Yes, of course. If your saddle isn't easily adjustable and you need a little fix until your saddle fitter can come, then there's definitely options out there to help raise the saddle or keep you in extra balance.
Perfect. Well, shall we go get Otis tacked up?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay, Bex, so what checks do we need to be doing around the saddle pad to ensure optimum comfort for the horse?
Things I look for, that everyone should be looking for, is that the saddle pad extends beyond the bearing of the saddle for all these panels. You don't want any extra padding under there that's going to change the shape or the fit of the saddle. If you've got any roping or detail like this as well, make sure that's not sitting underneath the back. And something that is super important is that you must have your saddle fitter check the saddle with the pad you're actually going to ride them in.
Yeah, that's a super important one. I think so many of us nowadays have so many saddle pads.
Yeah,
we like to keep up with the latest trends and I think it's very easy for us to put a different style pad underneath the saddle on the day that the saddle is being fitted. So really good point there, Bex. Right, Bex, when do we know when to replace a saddle pad?
It's funny because I think you would think this is quite an obvious thing to say, but saddle pads can lose their density and lose their cushioning. If it starts to get lumpy in different areas, and even if you put it through the wash and it's not coming out quite as sharp as it was previously, then those are all things to look for, where the stitching's gone, and if it's discoloured. I mean, that's purely aesthetic, but we all quite like to look nice as well, don't we?
No, absolutely. Which brings me on to my next question, which is, how often should we be washing our saddle pads?
Oh, well, we should wash them every time we use them. I mean, that would be the ideal, but that really isn't practical for everyone.
No.
So, I mean, if you can give them a good brush off with a hard brush, and that's good, as long as the sweat isn't kind of congealed into them and they've gone all hard, I mean, that's going to be a telltale sign that you need to put it in the wash, because then you might end up with, you know, skin problems with your horses. So you want everything to be as clean as possible.
Definitely, and I find tip from me is if you have a saddle pad that's got a white underlining to it, you can really tell how grubby it's got. And I always find when I put a saddle pad on my horse, if there's a tiny bit of grub on it, I will not wear it. Because as you said, my horse has got very sensitive skin, so I have to change my saddle pads regularly to ensure that his skin under the saddle is, you know, healthy, soft, and there's no lumps and bumps there.
I mean, you wouldn't want to put on dirty clothes every day, would
Exactly,
you?
exactly. Well, thank you for some of those helpful tips, Bex, and thank you to Otis for starring in this episode, and a big thank you to you guys at home for watching. Be sure to give the FEI and Bates Saddles channels a follow, and definitely be sure to check into the other episodes. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.